This is the Cool Photo Tools Podcast, episode number 52, February 1st, 2016.
Are you sick of trying to learn all the new photo software? Are you tired of hearing about the next big thing in photography? Well, neither are we. Welcome to Cool Photo Tools with Jay Piersdorf and Rhonda Spencer.
Today's sponsor is Audible.com, who has more than 180,000 audiobooks and spoken word audio products. Get a free audiobook of your choice at www.audibletrial.com/coolphototools. Welcome, cool heads. Welcome to this bright, shiny, early morning in February of 2016. I'm Jay Piersdorf, and right behind me is my co-host, Rhonda Spencer.
Hello.
Welcome, Rhonda.
How are you, Jay? How was your week?
My week has been good so far. Good, yeah, always good. So, I wanted to ask you about the at the Desert Museum that we both kind of hang out at once in a while. I teach classes there, and you do some photography. They came out and interviewed you, about the winning the calendar for 2016. And how did all that go? That should be about out. There should be an article coming out in the Arizona Game and Fish magazine. Is that out yet, or is that coming?
I think it's still upcoming, I hate to say. They also sent down a cinematographer, so they're going to do it on their Game and Fish channel too.
Ooh, so you're going to be on the Arizona Game and Fish channel.
Yeah, woohoo.
Okay.
And the best part of the interview was we decided to do it down where the coyotes are.
Yes,
so during the interview, the coyotes are running back behind me. And the
and you can't tell they're captive.
No. Well,
it just looks like wild coyotes.
It does. It looks like, because it's got the Invisinet, so you really don't see them. And you just have these coyotes running behind me. But the interesting thing is I guess the one gal said, well, did you see that one was sitting and rubbing its butt on the water during the interview? So I hope you guys keep that in. That would be
I'm sure that'll be in, yeah. The rest of the interview was not that interesting, but the coyote.
No, it was the coyotes. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, it was interesting.
Okay, well, we'll look for that. We'll put that, on the website, the coolphototools.com website. Is as soon as that becomes available, we'll put a link to that so you can all watch Rhonda's interview.
Maybe if Rhonda sees the interview and it looks, I'm not telling anybody.
I'm sure it'll be good. It'll be good.
It was fun. I think it was more fun that their cinematographer hadn't been to the museum.
We're talking about the Arizona-Sonora Desert Museum in Tucson, Arizona.
Yes, and he hadn't been there since he was a child, and he was quite amazed. It is an amazing place.
And I'll bet it looked a lot different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's different every year.
He was amazed at all the different animals and the behaviors, and it was nice. It was great.
Okay.
So all you people that haven't ever been there, get your cameras, go out. It's one of the places that is photo friendly, and big camera, little camera, everybody's got a camera. That's an amazing thing that you see out at the museum. They are really
a photography friendly place. If you want to go someplace and just find some amazing pictures to take, that's your spot. They are very happy to. They have a long history of have photo enthusiasts have worked there, and it's really cool for photographers.
And every time you see something different. The animal behaviors are doing something different.
Yeah, and then during the winter months and early spring, they have the Raptor Free Flight show where you can get some great pictures of hawks and owls and things like that, and get very, very close. And if you have a 600 millimeter lens, it's too big.
Yeah, it is too big.
Not going to work. Bring that 200 or maybe the 300, but not 6. Equivalent. 35 millimeter equivalent.
Yes.
This has been a disclaimer from Cool Photo Tools. When we talk about millimeters on lenses, we often talk about the 35 millimeter equivalent, because angle of view just escapes everybody. It doesn't, it'd be perfect. Angle of view is the same no matter what. But hey, don't get me started.
Okay. Yeah, don't.
All right.
Okay, so what do you have on your list
Oh,
this
I've got all
week since
kinds
you
of
made me?
stuff. But you know what? I've got, since we're on video, this is our third video episode. For those of you that haven't managed to check us out on our YouTube channel, you can go to the Cool Photo Tools YouTube channel and you can see our videos. And this is some stuff that, we've talked about in the past, but I'm going to hold this up here. And what this is a mouse. But if you see, this mouse is actually designed strangely so that when you hold it, your hand, instead of being flat on the table like this, actually is like this.
Interesting.
So you have your hand in the shaking hands position as you're using this mouse. And these are getting fairly inexpensive. You can get these on Amazon. We'll link to these in the show notes. This is a wireless ergonomic mouse, and I think it was under $20. It works really good.
Do you like it?
This one isn't my favorite, but my wife really likes that one, so she has confiscated it.
Okay. Question: how well does it work with Photoshop?
It works fine. It's again, it's different, and in fact, these have a resolution button. I don't know if you can see here on the top, but you can push this button down, and then you can change it from. I have to look this up, but I think it's like 100, 300, and 600 dots per inch or lines per inch. I'm not sure how they measured on mice. So you can adjust the sensitivity and how much movement it takes to make or what precision you want to work with. It's very easily adjustable on this mouse as well. Certainly worth a try if conventional mice are hurting your wrist, or you're getting that repetitive strain injury, or just sometimes you just need a change to the position of your hand if you spend a lot of time on the computer. And I have one other one. And again, the name of this one escapes me, so you have to check the show notes on this. But this is a crazy looking thing here. Look at this thing. Those of you that are on camera that have our video podcast. And for those of you that don't, I'll just take my word for it. This is a crazy looking thing.
It is a crazy looking thing. I can't.
And your hand fits on it like this.
That's a mouse?
This is a mouse, yeah.
Huh.
And then you can see where my fingers are. We'll put the top-down B-roll on this so you can all get to see that. But this is quite comfortable as well, surprisingly enough. It doesn't look like it would be, but it puts your hand in the shaking hands position rather than flat on the desk as well. And these are, again, inexpensive. These are around, I don't know, $24, $25. And this is the wireless version. And they have that same resolution button on there, so you can press the dot per inch right on the top here and adjust how the mouse responds. So we don't have those really expensive mice, or maybe not as necessary anymore, especially for some of the ergonomic solutions. I'm going to turn around and put these on Rhonda's desk so she can feel what they feel like in her hands.
And then I'll tell you the newest thing that I saw that I want. You know how you always have the want list?
Yes.
Okay.
What's on your want list?
And I just because I saw them and I thought that was pretty cool. They're called, and I assume this is palette. It's Palette.
Palette, yeah.
Aluminum Expert Control Surface Kit. Have you heard of that, Jay?
No.
Got something on him new?
Yeah, I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Okay, so it's for Photoshop, or I take it back, because it's not just Photoshop. You can use it in Adobe Lightroom. You can use it in Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, InDesign, Premiere Pro, Apple Final Cut Pro.
Okay, that's the list.
All right,
now, what does it do?
Each one is a little box, and it controls the different sliders that you have within Photoshop.
Oh.
So you link like the different boxes together.
Yeah, we did have this on the blog a while back.
Did you? Mm-hmm. And I thought that's very cool, because you can control everything instead of using a mouse. Now you've got these little sliders, and you can build it as big as you want.
So you have this gives you analog controls for most of the popular editing programs
within Photoshop. Yeah, and not cheap date again. The basic of it starts at like $299. And if you want different little modules, they come in at like $50 about a module.
So instead of clicking on a control on the screen and dragging your mouse back and forth, you actually have
like a slider,
like a fader on an audio board.
Yeah.
Or
That's what it kind of reminds me of, is that you're building like an audio board.
Oh, and then you have also there's rotary ones, which
Mm-hmm.
like
Like
potentiometers, like volume controls. Again, you can use those. So there's different ways to control.
But that's what it reminded me when you had these. It's like there's something else new.
Yeah, it's something. I think that's something that's missing in our modern digital stuff. We have all these representations, but sometimes it's nice to just be able to grab an analog control with your hands and move a lever or a knob. It feels very satisfying.
Well, and I think you have more precision handling.
You could, depending on how they set it up. Certainly could be more of a precision type of control, but I think also faster. In a lot of cases, if you do repetitive stuff, if you're editing weddings in Lightroom all the time, you might find it's very, very quick to switch to a device like this with analog controls. What was the name of that again?
It's called Palette Aluminum Expert Control Surface.
Okay. We'll put that in the show
catchy
notes.
name, yeah. But it looked like it'd be something fun to at least play with,
Absolutely.
for us people who like to do Photoshop, as Jay and I do.
Well, yeah, it's sadly.
Not sadly. It's great. All you people that haven't learned Photoshop, go out and learn it. Take one of Jay's classes.
Oh, okay. Here's something that was at CES that we didn't talk about at the time. We kind of ignored some of the video stuff that was happening. And this is a device called Livestream, is the company that makes this. And this is called the Movi, or the Movi, depending on how you want to pronounce it. It's M-O-V-I. I suspect they want to call it Movie, but it looks like Movi.
I like Movi better.
Yeah, well, it could be. Anyway, what it is it is a multi-camera designed to work with your iPad or your iPod. Now, initially, this only works with the iPod or the iPad, but they do have Android versions planned, or Android tablet planned. So what this is it's a little, it's about the size of if you take a can of hairspray or a bug repellent or spray paint and you pop the top off, it's about the size of the top. But it's got a lens in it. And this, you put it on a tripod or a light stand, something kind of a stand, and then it's a video camera. So you can set this up, and it sends the image to your iPhone or your iPad. And so you can see, let's say you set this back and you're photographing your child's play, so that there's a stage and there's a number of people and you're back a fair distance. And so there's things happening. Now, when you do this, when you record an event, that runs for, half an hour or 45 minutes, something like that, and you only have one camera, then you have one shot. So it's not that exciting to watch. We're used to seeing multi-camera events where there might be 3 cameras and you switch back and forth. The views change. You look at, there's a close-up view of one actor, and then there's a close-up view of the other actor, and then the camera shows the entire scene. And so that's what this aims to do, is by using a high-resolution camera, that then you can pick out different views from the same scene. So you're sitting there with your iPhone, the camera's filming the event, and then you can pick out in real time, okay, let's do a close-up on this person, and do that for 6 seconds, and then a close-up on that person for 4 seconds, and then an overall shot. We'll do that for 7 seconds, and we'll go back to this person. Or now we'll just take these 2 people, and then you can also pinch to zoom. You can pinch and zoom, and it changes the camera's the coverage area. So really, you're just working still with one overall image, but you're getting various crops or various sections of it, which can look very slick and very professional, done correctly. Price on this is going to be $1 under $400. This is the Livestream Movi, coming out shortly. Not out yet. It's on its way. All right, Rhonda.
All right, Jay.
Over to you.
All right. So looking on things that Rhonda would like to have. Rhonda has a list on things that she looks like, I'd like to have that. Lastolite just came out with an urban collapsible background. So kind of like what your reflectors look like. This is a background.
For like taking portraits? And
with two different types of, one background on the other. But they're collapsible.
Okay.
They're spring-loaded just like how...
Like those things you put in your windshield to keep the sun from coming in? Only bigger.
Only bigger. And you can fold it up and carry it off with you. They're actually 5x7.
Okay, I have some of these.
Do you?
But the ones I have like green screen.
No. This
and black and white.
These actually are printed with backgrounds on them.
Ah.
So you can get them like with like cement wall, brick, and you have two different styles, one on each side. So you can get an outdoor look in an instant. And they're $207.99, so $208. But it's small, something portable, and they look like they're really well made. So I thought that is pretty cool.
Now, of course, you only get, if there's two, one on each side.
Right.
So you probably want to get something that, you're going to use for a while.
Right. Something that you would find handy.
How many different styles of these do they have?
About 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm. So you could get them all and then just choose as you go because they're compact when you fold them up.
They're compact, yeah.
But you have to be careful folding those up.
Well, it takes a bit of practice anytime you fold anything like that up so that you don't look like a monkey doing. It took me a long time to be able to be able to wrap it up and be able to, but it took me a while of standing on it and doing this.
Yeah, so you have to be careful when you fold those up. There's a technique to it.
There is.
And if you do it wrong, you'll break that metal
ring.
The metal. It's kind of a spring metal thing in there, and it'll break, and then you'll never be able to fold them up again.
No.
So you have to be very careful when you do that.
Well, and once you learn the technique, it's kind of, you look slick doing it, but it is kind of a learning curve on being able to twist them and turn them. And
Yeah, see, I don't do it that often, so by the time I'm ready to use them again, I've forgotten how that folds up. I got to go look on YouTube. How do you fold that up again?
yeah, it is.
The big ones are kind of awkward. When you have the 54-inch reflectors that work like that, it's not that bad, but
yeah. But you're right. The bigger it gets, the more awkward it becomes.
Hey, did you see this on from our friends at Petapixel? This was on a few weeks ago, and they were talking about this. There was a photo of a New Year's Mayhem. It looks like this was in Manchester. It's on New Year's Eve, and photographer Joel Goodman, he was photographing, some street partiers having a good time, and then he came across a scene where the police were. Had to restrain this guy that was causing trouble and obviously had maybe a little too much to drink maybe. And so the police are kind of wrestling this one guy and this woman standing over the side. Well, if you can see this, you're on the video version, you can see this. I'll put this up there. You can take a look at it. And then there's another guy that's reaching for his beer, laying down on the street. And, it's kind of a fun shot just from all the stuff that's going on to look at. But then somebody said, oh, look, this is a perfect example of composition using the golden rule or the golden mean, which is the kind of the compositional tool that looks like the Nautilus Shell. You can see here on the video, and say, oh yeah, the photographer just managed to use that composition just perfectly, and. Then everybody's like, oh, wow, that's a perfect example of that. And so this just, when this comes up, I got to speak up and go, you know what, this golden ratio thing is complete baloney for composition. In this case, yeah, it's an interesting shot. But, Rhonda, can you take a look at this right here? You see the guy's laying down on the street?
Yeah.
How does that? He's not there. He's not on the path at all. He's in the middle of that.
Yeah.
This does not work, people. This is, if you look at all of the architecture and the photographs that are supposed to be attributed to this is baloney. The golden rule is golden BS. This does not work in any strange shape or form. There have been books written about this is a myth. This is baloney. Okay, I mean, the only reason that kind of they drag this out is because at least it keeps you from keeping the subject in the dead center.
That's true.
Right? It doesn't let you bullseye the subject.
So use rule of thirds.
There's no evidence that this was been used by the Greeks or anybody else. And here's the other thing. Look, what they overlaid this. It doesn't fit the bottom and it doesn't fit the sides. Right? So it's like, if it's that loose, it doesn't really work. It's just, why isn't this the rule of thirds?
Yeah.
The rule of thirds is just as good, maybe better, or maybe there just isn't rules. Okay, so I'm off my soapbox now. Go ahead. You can talk about your next thing. I'll just sit over here quietly and fume.
Well, I got him on this one today because I just went and subscribed to Digital Camera Magazine, which
The camera magazine called, is it Digital Photo?
It's called Digital Camera.
Digital Camera.
Yeah.
As opposed to Digital Photo, which would be different.
Right. Well, this one comes out of the UK.
The UK has some very cool photo magazines. Why do we have
really
such a hard time getting them over here in the US?
I don't know.
What's up with that? It should be, they're big, they're glossy, they're slickly produced. They're really nice photo magazines.
Yeah.
And we have trouble getting them here. I mean, you can, but it's not hard. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, it is hard.
All right.
It's hard to get them over here.
Well, what happens is ours all become advertising. Nothing but what you can buy, what you can buy.
But I like advertising. I'm
Well,
all right
I do
with
too.
that. And if it subsidizes the cost of the magazine, I'm okay with that too.
These actually have a lot of educational information in them. It does I think more than advertising. They have education.
I think it's just more content, as far as if you
could
look
be.
at how many more stories. Sometimes they have giveaways, like between these pages of this magazine is a real car.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's not just a trial version, it's the real thing.
No,
there's software. They give stuff away. Sometimes they have those couple of CDs and,
Yeah.
I mean, there's cool stuff in the UK magazines.
It does. And I really like it. They're expensive. Don't kid yourself. They are expensive.
Yeah, because they have to get across the pond.
Yes. But they're, like I said, I really like them. But Jay and I got to talking about this, and I said, because they always send like little things, CDs. And this one had Photographer's Inspiration Pack, which Jay said he went poo-poo to, but I thought it was very clever. Listen, did you hear his
Go ahead, tell him. Go ahead and tell. I'll hold my comments until the end.
This is a 30-day pack just to get you off of your rear and make you shoot things that are different and make you maybe able to look and like I said, inspirational pack. So, all right. Number 1 says photograph 6 circular objects. It's supposed to make you...
Why?
So that you learn different things when you're shooting instead of doing the same old repetition stuff. Everybody gets into the same old stuff.
Isn't this just busy work?
It could be, but hopefully you learn something from it,
What if you don't?
Well,
Where's the guarantee?
Then you're not
This is
doing
just
something right.
Like, just don't give me stuff to do.
I
just
like
to do
stuff
it.
to do.
Just to get me out of your hair. Is that what this is?
No, this... No. Here you go. Shoot something you find in your fridge. I mean, think about that. You could
I've
find
seen things in my fridge that should be shot.
You could get in there and you could have a science project that you're actually shooting out of your fridge.
It's alive.
You could name it what was this originally? So yeah, I just thought this is very good. They were very clever. Open a magazine and recreate the first image you come across.
Why? It's already been done.
Exactly. He says why. I think this is very good. It would be really good. It takes you out of the box of shooting things that you're maybe not normally shooting. And with that, there is a learning process that happens.
Maybe.
There is. Well, there should be. Let's put it that way. There should be. After you have done and shot a lot of different things, hopefully you come ahead and you've learned something. Anyway, I thought it was cool.
Okay.
You heard him. Okay. We do this a lot.
Hey.
Hey.
I bought a drone.
You did?
I did.
What'd you buy? Oh, it's cute.
The CX-10C from Cheerson.
Uh-huh.
And as you can see, this is the whole thing in the box here, including the controller. I'll open it up, put it on the table here in a second. You take a look at it. But this is a drone, a quadcopter, that you can fit in the palm of your hand.
Wow.
Okay, and we talked about this back in our gift guide section there. And this has actually has a 640 by 480 pixel video camera in it. You put a little micro SD card in there, and it comes with a controller, and you can fly it around. It's rechargeable. It takes 5 minutes to charge it, and then it'll fly for, I think, 45 seconds, minute 45, something like that. Not very long.
No, it isn't very long.
Yeah, but, you know, I mean, you would probably use this in the house. It's long enough to annoy somebody. And also, it's enough to get, I might be wrong on that. I better take a look. Maybe it's 15 minutes and 5 minutes of flight or something like that. It's not, you know, it's not a tremendous amount of time, but it charges really quick. And so this showed me that how difficult it is to pilot a drone that doesn't have advanced computer control to help you. This will really, if you get one of these, about $25, and if you get one of these, this will show you what you need to know before you spend $1,000 and go over to the airport to try to fly it, and then get arrested because you know what you're doing, or before you hurt yourself because those blades hit you. You know, this is like, I'm pretty much over it. I'm not.
I tell you, for Christmas I bought my son a drone that looked like one of the Star Wars spacecrafts.
Oh yeah, that was a cool one. I saw that.
Oh God, and it is really cool. He flew it all over my house. He flew it all over his house when he got it home. He got in trouble with his wife because he was flying it, I guess, right next to her like this, and she turned at the same time that he turned, and all the little propellers went in her hair.
And those are guarded on that one too. They're not even sticking out.
It just pulled all her hair and wedged right into her hair, and she was pretty mad at him. But it is cool. It flies low and high, and they made it out of kind of a styrofoam material so that if you crash it, you don't kill it.
Well, I have actually crashed this one a few times too, and surprisingly, I did have to reset it a time or two, but they take a punishing, you know, and will still keep working. And also, if you catch these in your hand, that hurts. Those blades are,
I bet,
they're spinning, you know, like, ouch, it didn't draw blood, but it was like, ow, that's uncomfortable. I'm not doing that again. You know? And this does say ages 14 and up, which I don't know. I might be past the age limit where I can't comprehend how to work it. So I'm over it. You know, I'm not buying another one. I'm not buying a bigger one. This was a good test.
Maybe you should buy one of, like I said, one of the Star Wars ones because it's really cool.
Well, you know, as looking at the Amazon Christmas reports, you know, the drones, quadcopters were big, huge sellers for Christmas this year. So everybody got one. So that means I think in just a few more weeks, if you need any video aerial footage of anything, you'll be able to find it on the stock photo websites.
Yes,
you know,
everyone will have one.
Everything will have been photographed. There's nothing new to shoot with your quadcopter. No, it'll all have been done.
Yeah.
You can just figure out exactly the path you want to take, and you just do a Google search, and there it is. Oh, yeah, that's I need that footage right there.
There it is.
Yeah. I don't know. It's, you know, the market got flooded, and the people that made the money, I don't think were the photographers in this case.
No, I don't think so either.
But hey, maybe that's just me.
So much for Jay. He's not going to get a new one.
Speaking of quadcopters,
what?
Okay, because I know a lot of our audience probably is, you know, photographers are like, oh, there's another cool tool to add to my arsenal. And I would agree with you. You know, I mean, these are cool. They're at the CES show that was 3 weeks ago now. Did you see this, Rhonda? There's a company called, it's EHANG. I'm not sure how that's pronounced in Chinese. Ehang, I don't know. But anyway, they produced a quadcopter big enough for a person to ride in.
Wow.
And pilot. And they had a prototype there at the show. And some sample videos I'll link to there. And it'll take, it's actually a 2-seater, but it has a carrying capacity of 220 pounds. So that means 2 children or 2 very small people.
Or one
and not very many
man.
Programmers or photographers are going to fit in that. And you had to lay on your side, face down, and then roll over in it. It was really awkward. And I got claustrophobia just looking at the video of the whole thing.
I don't think so.
And plus, it's never going to be able to fly in the U.S. You know, never. You'll have to have a pilot's license. It'll have to pass a bunch of FAA regulations. It's just not going to happen, people.
Not only that, think about when you bring it down too hard and you crash. If you're in that position, that would be like, ow.
Well, okay, but this probably asks some bigger questions. You know, we have rotorcraft right now. We have helicopters, And helicopters have always, well, we have helicopters because we've always had helicopters, and we haven't always, but the same concept has been, tested and tried. And while they're not maybe as stable as fixed wing craft, they do some pretty unique things that make them indispensable for some activities. So now we have electric motors. We have the quadcopter technology. I think this makes a lot of sense where they probably could actually produce at least some commercial grade quadcopters that would replace current helicopters. Now this one from this company, they quoted, again, they weren't selling it. They were running up the flagpole. They were thinking, well, if we do sell these, it's going to be between $200,000 and $300,000, which is really
pocket change. Everybody's got
for
one.
an aircraft, that's nothing. Okay, that's really nothing. I didn't get the other details, and I'll link to this in the show notes. But I'm thinking they probably had to charge it for maybe 10 minutes, and you got six minutes of flight time.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. I've got.
It's like, wow.
I don't have any idea. But in order to be used, that's one thing that it would have to overcome. Is you'd have to be usable. You would have to have sustained flight. And to sustain flight in rotorcraft, it takes a lot more energy than winged aircraft. But that's a completely different show. So I don't know why I got off on that. So
Yeah, I'm thinking of how do you land it?
Well, it's a quadcopter, So when you run out of power, it just goes back to where you started. Wait, I was heading to L.A.
Yeah. Oops. No. Not on.
Don't know. Anyways, it's fun to look at, but that's the trouble with if you go back and look at the consumer electronic shows, look at 2015's, look at 2014, look at 2013, specifically look at the ones where these were best of show. These were the most promising items that they had at the show. And out of the 20 items, there might be 2 or 3 that actually became real products, and the rest of them just disappeared.
Yeah.
So
And there's a good reason why.
apparently there is. And meanwhile, I've talked us completely over the top, and we're out of time again. See, it doesn't make any difference whether we're on video or whether we're on audio. We're talking and we can't shut up.
Yeah, that's true. That's why you listen to us, I hope, because we talk and don't shut up. Right?
Yeah, because otherwise there's a knob on your radio or your for that.
Silence them off.
Yeah. But now that we're on video, you can actually watch us with the sound off.
Yeah, there are no commercial breaks even.
That's right. Yeah. All right, everybody.
Bye.
So let us know. Oh, you're going to buy already?
Okay.
I was going to just
All right.
add a couple things in there.
All right. Let them.
Get a hold of us and let us know what you think. If there's things that you're struggling with or that you want to know more about, drop us a line there. We want to talk about what you're interested in.
That's true.
But if you don't contact us, then we're just going to talk about what we're interested in. So sometimes those might align. Sometimes they might not.
They might not.
Yeah. So let us know.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Have a good week. Now you can say it.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Cool Photo Tools podcast. Sign up for our mailing list at coolphototools.com. Got a question? Send an email or MP3 audio file to info@coolphototools.com. Thanks for listening.